Just in case you think the only customs out there are V-twin cruisers, Tim Brown and the guys at Alumachrome want you to think again.
Our whole goal is to take the sport bikes to the same level that the customs are at. We build a lot of custom swing arms, extensions, air rides. We build some of the most extreme sport bikes that you'll see. We started out in 1993 with a ZX11. We've always done the big bikes, the cruiser bikes, the more comfortable to ride. And at that time, the ZX11 was the fastest production bike. We've been doing it now for about 10, 11 years. We lucked up on this whole thing by polishing my personal bike, started taking it to shows, created our own market. Back then, nobody had seen a sport bike that had been polished or anything done to it, so every show we went to, we got a huge reaction, and that's what led us to keep on doing it, because nobody was doing it, and every time you go to a show, nobody had seen it, and it was just getting a huge reaction. The same with now. You pull up on a $50,000 sport bike, nobody's seen it. It's still a new market. We're just growing tremendously every year. The whole thing with sport bikes is the speed, and most of the guys who are buying sport bikes have that need for speed. They want it to go fast, and they want it to look good. So we've incorporated everything into show or go, is what we say. Our bikes look good, and a lot of our bikes are 300 plus horsepower.
I'm a district sales manager, so I travel a lot, and so after traveling all week, motorcycle is kind of like a passion. It knocks the edge off. What's happened with Alumachrome is me and Tim have become good friends, and we share the same passion, and this has turned into a big show deal. We do a lot of shows over the East Coast during the summer times. So I get to be a businessman during the week and a biker on the weekends, and it's turned out to be great as a family activity as well.
One of our specialties is a Suzuki Hayabusa, which is the fastest production bike made right now. This is a 1300, comes factory with 155 horsepower. Then we take that bike and we'll put a turbo on it. A lot of our bikes are 250, 350 horsepower bikes. The Hayabusa is the big bike. We like to do all the horsepower on the big bikes. It's a lot easier to handle than the smaller bikes. A lot heavier bike, a lot easier to come out of wheel spins and do more high speeds, anywhere from 220 to 250 mile an hour. And when you add more power, then you got to hook it up. It doesn't do any good to have all the horsepower and you can't get it to the ground. So that's where the extended swing arms come into play at. That's where we come in with the wider tires.
A lot of people are now picking up that creative idea. So it seems now the thing is to have a fat tire kit on your Hayabusa. So we are out there and we're doing them, and we're having a ball with it.
A lot of Tim's customers have their bikes transformed in stages over a few years.
Started off and invested my first $3,000, and my wife wasn't really happy with me, but she kind of watched me real close for a while, and next thing I knew, I had over the 20,000 mark in it. And I think she picked it up and seen it was a passion for me. It was something that really made me happy. So at this point in time, I have actually just invested another $3,000, so that'll put me close to the $46,000 mark over the price of the bike that I've invested in the customizing.
Tim Brown has been making lots of sports bike riders and custom enthusiasts wake up and smell the nitrous with his mad horsepower, blinged out rice rockets.
Everything chrome frame, custom wheels, single side swing arm, fat tires, custom paint, turbos, the seats, anything they want to do, we can do it in our shop.
Tim's continuously evolving Freddy Krueger bike features just about everything available, including a progressive turbocharging system.
We can come out of the hole with no boost. When we go into second gear, it'll jump up to 5 pounds. When we go to third gear, it'll jump up to 10, and we can run up to 20 pounds of boost, and it'll come in progressively, so it'll hook up. If you just had 20 pounds of boost coming in at one time, then all it would do is spin the tire. So you've got to incorporate the horsepower. As you do more horsepower, then you've got to hook it up to make it all functional. That bike has a lot of stuff that no other sport bike has. That bike has GPS tracking. You can start the bike off the internet. You can raise the air ride up. You can turn the lights on. All that stuff on the internet. It's all also on a remote control. On this bike we have a DVD player, a TV screen, just something else to be different. You know, we had 350 horsepower, so we want a paint job that's going to be as radical as the motor is. So we come up with the Freddy Krueger paint scheme on this one. Chrome the windscreen on it. There's a special process that they can go through to chrome plastic. The windshield on this bike is just like a piece of metal now. But it gives you a real cool look.
And what about that remote-controlled air ride?
That's the best of both worlds. You can look good when you get to the beach, or when you want to cruise and drop down and look low. You want to pull off and go for a nice ride, and then ride comfortably with the button and air it up.
The single-sided swing arm is another of Tim's touches that let you see everything on these bikes that are dressed to impress.
We're spending anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 for wheels, and then with a double-sided swing arm and all the brakes on it, you can't see the wheels. So we came out with a single-sided swing arm, opens the rear wheel up, nothing's blocking the wheel now. You can see the complete spinner. The rear caliper is actually made into the swing arm on the left side, so there's no brakes blocking the wheel.
The simple fact of being able to go to these shows or being out around the public and having a great time, showing them the creative ideas that's been developed here is definitely the payback. There's not real much payback in getting your money back out of a sports bike, but the gratification is there.
While Tim Brown made his reputation with transformations of the Suzuki Hayabusa, he's customizing a lot of other sport bikes too.
In the shop we have a Katana 600. You wouldn't think about a Katana looking good, but this girl, we've done a black Barbie bike. You'll see it at a lot of the shows. She wins shows all over with it. And she dresses up like Barbie and carries a little Barbie display with her and does real good and has a lot of fun. We have a ZX12 back in the shop now. Just got through finishing a GSX 1000. We're constantly developing new parts for all the new bikes as they come out.